Hey folks, first thing we're going to do is start an ad. Up with that. Hey, it looks like my access manager. Alright, there's an ad. Alright. Well, for those of you on YouTube, you don't get an ad, so I've got 24 more seconds going here. So, I will start with how's it going, and, yeah, leave it at that, I guess, huh? Here we go. Countdown. 7, 6, coffee. Alright, here we are. Gonna do a taping of Cockatrice Nuggets here. Hey folks, welcome. I've been up to quite a bit recently, and cool. All right, hey folks, how are you? I have been gone for quite a bit. It seems like my last podcast was about a month ago. I just released it, and hopefully, I'm going to get a system going where I do this on every Thursday, and without question, without hesitation. So hopefully we'll be back to a weekly schedule soon. Anyway, on with the excitement. So, I've been gaming a lot. I think we skipped 1 week, maybe two. But it's been great. We played through the whole Drain trilogy, or Inferno trilogy, excuse me. That was Wrath of God, the pamphlet adventure. And that was the trip to find Within Wheels. Within Wheels is a kind of like a generation ship or a space station full of farmers. Basically, it's a place where a bunch of people can live, ideally, and it's all about farming and them supporting themselves out in deep space. More of a space station than a generation ship, but I keep calling it a generation ship because it's intended for people to live on for a long time. So they got there, and then we went into the Drain, which is going into the Within Wheels. It's called the Drain because it is a funnel. It is also shaped like a funnel. So the Within Wheels is a cone-shaped object, station, whatever we're calling it. The Within Wheels basically has a map that is circular, and it's basically tiers. So there was 2 or 3 items on each tier. I made them pick and do one. I kind of described them all at the beginning because as you're standing at the bottom, you can look up and see this whole cone above you. So you can see everything from the start. The way they went was good. It wasn't, as always, I skipped a couple things, just because, that's what I do, right? When I'm not as prepared as I could be. That doesn't make it any less fun, I don't think. I know they definitely didn't notice. I just feel I missed out on a couple of, environmental things. There was billboards that were supposed to be in every zone that I didn't. There was something else that was supposed to be in every zone too. But I got to the cool stuff, and I did the cool stuff that I wanted to do. So that's what's important. Anyway, so after that, they went into Meat Grinder, which is an insane end to this trilogy. Basically, what happens in the end of the Drain, spoilers, you open a portal to hell, and Meat Grinder is hell. So they went in there and, again, not being as prepared as I should be. Basically, the most I could be prepared, in my eyes, as I should be prepared, is the amount I should be prepared is memorization of the module, and I do not have that. So, and I almost never will. So there was 2 places in the module that had similar names, and I put them into the wrong one. So they missed about half the stuff in there, but it worked out well. It was still grotesque and hellish, and it was still fun. And it ended up, each of these adventures ended up taking 1 night. So we had 3 nights of Mothership, and everybody kind of got a taste of that. They enjoyed the system. They liked the fact that it was simple, but it had skills on top of it. The whole skills defining character, I think, is something that the group likes. So I need to consider that when I eventually settle on a system. After we've kind of finished playing the system, I kind of ask and find out how they're feeling. And it's there hasn't been anything negative yet, I don't think. But there has been concerns, right? Like, I don't know if we could play a campaign like this. I really like Mothership, but I feel like if we don't play that horror vibe, then we're missing out on a lot of stuff. So we ended up having a conversation about how D&D is kind of a horror game, right? When you think about it, you're crawling around dark dungeons with monsters around every corner. It has become a very heroic game, but the style that I want to play is more of that that dirty, down to earth kind of you could die at any moment feel, and I think the horror genre actually really brings that out, which is why I like Mothership, I think, so much. Yeah, so I still have not settled on a game. And we played again last night, and we played World of Dungeons, which is a hack of Dungeon World. Mouse over here. Boom. It is very simple. What you're looking at right now is the rules. It is a 2-page PDF, 3-page PDF. And each of these pages are basically half a page of rules. So that it actually makes up 2 pages of rules, XP and levels, a page of names, and 2 pages of character sheets. So there is not a lot here. It flowed very well. I get hung up. So World of Dungeons and Dungeon World, I really get hung up on hit points. Kind of didn't even use them last night, right? I just kept putting the characters in danger, and that way there was this tension building up as things got worse and worse and worse and worse until they solved the problem. So they had a fight with two bears, 2 of these monstrosity bears with spider-like eyes and multiple tongues. And what happened was the first one was a success, right? It was a 10+. If you don't know the way PBTA, powered by the apocalypse, that is, games work, basically roll 2d6 and add a relevant modifier. So they were the results are 6-, so anything less than 6, or 6 and anything less than 6 is a failure, and that just means something bad happens. 7 to 10 is or 7 to 9, I guess, is a success, but with some failure. So this is kind of the failure forward, right? And 10+ is a full success. So the way the odds are, you're going to be running or rolling partial successes quite a bit more, even though it's 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, and then 6 minus, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the lower half is more it is a larger spread. Is it a larger spread? I don't even know. It is some sort of spread. Let's look this up real quick. I don't want to talk out my ass. So we are going to go to any dice, and we can output 2d6. Plates. All right, so there is 13, 24, math 32, 7, about a 40% chance of 6 minus. Right. So that means more than half the time you're going to be getting successes. So whether that is a success with a cost, which is 16, so it's like 30, 40, an equal chance of success with cost, or that would be 7, 5, 15% chance of success. Now this, of course, has modifiers, so it's basically in World of Dungeons, it's -1, 0, or +1. There may be a +2 if you're high enough. Oh no, it's so 0, +1, +2, or +3. So you can get pretty high up there. I think everybody had kind of an average of +1, which is of course the average roll, because they're saying on a 7 to 9 the value is +1. And those of you watching right now can see that this 7 to 9 range here, just including 7 in there, is a 16.75% or 3/3, 2/3% chance to roll into a 7. That, by the way, is why you lose in craps if you roll a 7, because that is the most common number to come up. Also, it's that way because it has the most combinations, right? It can be 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Sorry, 1 and 6. Yeah, 1 and 6, 2 and 5, 3 and 4, and then the other way down. So, playing this game, you're going to more often than not succeed. Mostly, you have an equal chance of succeeding with a failure as you do as outright failing. So when we played this game, I chose to fail instead of doing damage, or fail forward instead of doing damage. So I would, instead of doing damage, I grabbed one of the characters. A second time, instead of doing damage, I knocked them down and back. Third time, not doing damage. Instead of doing damage, I hit one character with the other character who was being held. And by that round, they had killed the bear creature. A lot of it ended up in roleplay, which is kind of where I'm heading, right? I like the role-playing in role-playing. I do like the number crunching and the power gaming and stuff, but as a GM, I don't feel that I get a lot of that. And I can get the same amount of stuff without crunching numbers in the background, and feel more confident about winging stuff. That's one of the things I really like about Worlds Without Number is the system for making monsters is so simple. I could just say, a 3-hit die creature gets +3 on its hit and does +3 damage. It's really that simple. And not using hit points in this, I can do kind of the same thing. I was using hit points as a gauge, kind of, but not really. The adventure I used is a Trilemma adventure. It's from Volume 1. It's called 3 for the Grave. And there are no stats in the adventure itself. I believe there is an appendix stats in it here. Sorry, new PDF reader. Don't know how to get bookmarks up. Unimportant. It's probably in the view, right? View. There is a bestiary back here, and it's got no stats in it. That is freaking awesome. A bestiary with no stats. So it was really fun. It ended up being good. They ended up poisoning a bunch of monks to save the villages. They were basically grinding up people and making gruel, trying to become these primordial orcs so they could hunt dead and be harbingers of demons. And these little shrine babies, they were called. They were babies created from stillborn children, or homunculi created from stillborn children. Homunculi created from stillborn children. They eventually learned to talk, and the eldest one was conversing with them and saying all that she cared about was the shrine babies. And she didn't care about anything else except that the shrine still stood, because that's where the shrine babies got their power from, and that's the only place they could be. So they ended up deciding that killing the monks was the best, easiest thing to do. That would probably put a stop to that. It was a fun game. Again, after the game, I asked the players what they thought. They liked it. They liked the simplicity of it again. So I think we're kind of on the same page as that. We're not looking for a really complex game, but we're still looking for something that we can sink our teeth into, right? Something that is not us just sitting around telling a story, that's got some mechanical benefit to it. So next week we're playing Vagabonds of Dyfed, and this is chosen. This is popular in some of the OSR circles I read in. This and Freebooters of Freebooters. I don't know what it's called. Freebooters. Look that up. Freebooters powered by the Apocalypse. And that is also popular. This one is in Foundry, though. So that's kind of the reason I picked this one over Freebooters. And it, again, is a powered by the Apocalypse game. So we're going to be doing 2d6 and adding a modifier. Now, that modifier, like I said, depends on your attributes. Here's the basic rules right here. Freeform traits instead of attributes, 2d6 plus the mod. Basically, if you have a skill, you get +1, I believe. And then there's only one core move here in Vagabonds. So this is going to be like World of Dungeons with a little more crunch to it. I really like the theory behind Powered by the Apocalypse games. I'm not sure how much I really like the idea of pushing these forward into a long campaign. But as we experiment a little more, and as I get more comfortable playing running Powered by the Apocalypse, we'll see. You'll learn along with me. And ultimately, what I'd like to do after running a couple of these Powered by the Apocalypse games is run Blades in the Dark, the game that terrifies me to run. It's such a good game. It just has all these little tiny moving parts that aren't quite explained perfectly in the book. And it's one of those things that I want to perfectly understand the system before I run it. And I don't think I really can do that. Mike Shea, also known as tongue-tied. Mike Shea, also known as Sly Flourish, just started running Blades in the Dark. So I'm hoping to get some insight from that. And so far I've gotten a little bit. He's not done much more than kind of done an intro and a session 0. So we'll find out from there. Blades in the Dark, I was reading as a popular game for a one-shot, which seems very weird to me because a lot of it revolves around downtime and your crew gaining territory, which isn't a very one-shotty kind of thing. So I'm interested in digging more into that and find out why people think Blades in the Dark is a good one shot. Yeah, so I think that's all about all I've got on what I've played and what I've been playing. I don't think. I think there was something else on the horizon that I wanted to get into, but I don't quite remember what it is. Oh, Karen. That is based on Electric Bastionland, but or Into the Odd, technically, I think. But it has spells and a different encumbrance system. So again, looking for these really light systems that we can just kind of pick up and play, but have enough depth to them that we can run a campaign. So, what have I been looking at lately? Well, as some of you may know, it is zine month. Zemo, this is zinemonth.com, and it has, at the moment, 14 pages of zines that are in production this month. The idea behind Zine Month, I believe this is the 4th year, is to promote independent authors and small projects. So most of these are 2-week funding. I think I really want to say that there was a limit to the amount of time you could fund, and it might have just been through February. But this year's Zine Month has been moved to consort with Gen Con, or line up with Gen Con. So that will be in July, I think. I believe it's July. So Kickstarter is moving Zine Month to July. Kickstarter is actually going through a bit of controversy, talking about using cryptocurrency and possibly NFTs, which is whatever. I mean, I guess if it's weird. If we can still pay with money, and if the authors can still get paid in money, there shouldn't be a problem. But they're being very cryptic about it, so I'm not exactly sure what the plan is, what they're doing, and they've gotten a lot of pushback. So this might be something that they just don't talk about anymore and kind of forget that it happened. I'm going to quickly run an ad, so I will be back in a minute. All right, ad is going. This is the commercial break for you on YouTube who do not get this. Yeah, so we're going to be going over some of the zines that I have purchased. Here's another old school essentials. That's kind of mostly what I've been tending to. Old school essentials, or I'm really into Mothership right now. What I'm trying to avoid is systems. So I'm trying not to. Disgusting Adventures of the Chunky Sphere. Mode runs are made of flesh, just meaty shapes flying around doing chores all day. That crazy sounding. Thursday, winning Modrons are made of flesh, just big meaty shapes flying around doing chores all day. But alas, the cowards who revised Modrons for the 2nd edition ruined their unique and gross implications forever. Today, we plan on righting that wrong with some help from the Troika system. Press the 4x4 booklet full of full color, 100-pound gloss paper. Get my earlier zine, 6 friendly backgrounds for Troika. It's a free but add-on bonus. Yeah, so Zine Month. We're checking out discussing meat drones from the Chunky Sphere. Yeah, that's just fun. There we go. Here we go. So, buy the bundle, Flesh Monsters, and oh my god, look at that there. That's so freaking first edition. Oh my goodness. I mean, these are like Notes the complete and utter lack of any bullshit steampunk accoutrement. Are very cool. Yeah, this is straight from first edition right here. And I believe these guys are, yeah, just modifications of that. There's the pyramid one. There is drone, quadrone. Very cool, very cool. I like that this one's drinking coffee. Interesting. Let's see. Does it say how many pages it is? It'd be really cool if I played more Troika. I do. One thing I really like about Troika is the mean. This right here, mean. So that is what that monster is up to. And in Troika, they have one of these for every single monster. Round, bumbling, repeating, confused, working, or chomping. And then they have like data categories, damage as a small beast. They use a table for damage. I believe it's what you roll cross-referenced with what you are. It's what it is. I find the table a bit clunky, but I really like the setting of Troika. I really like some of the features of Troika. The mean I really like, and if I end up with a system, I mean, whatever system I end up, I will probably be stealing mean a lot from Troika. I have been collecting Troika stuff that will translate over pretty freaking easily to whatever system I use, or will have pre-existing stats, right? A goblin's a goblin's a goblin, so I can just steal the mean from that and plop that into my current game. I also have a pamphlet, D66 means. Oh, no, 666 means, yeah. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Oh, kind of. But this is all-purpose means for, whatever you got. So that's 666, 6,666. And basically that's 4 six-siders rolled together, read from left to right. Pretty simple. So, what am I looking at in Zine? I have probably spent too much money. Well, let's go through my Kickstarter real quick. Knock issue 3. This is Knock is a magazine. I want to say it's quarterly, but it might be bi-yearly. And basically, what they do, they take stuff that has either they write articles. They take articles from the internet, and it is from kind of everywhere, right? They pull old stuff that old nuggets of goodness out there on the internet, reprint those. They have people write them. They have independent artists illustrate it. And this thing is huge, 212 pages. I was looking at getting a copy of Knock 1 and Knock 2, but Knock 1 is out of print, and Knock 2 is in print right now. So I'm gonna wait until I get this. It looks like March is the estimated delivery. And I am getting a PDF and a physical copy, so kind of interested to see what those look like in my hands, and then hopefully Knock 2 won't be out of print yet, and I will grab that as well. Let's see here. Knights of Lazarus. This is a reoccurring galactic faction, a dangerous puzzle dungeon, and a powerful xenotech artifacts. This is a Mothership kind of science fantasy sounding dungeon. And I like the idea of a dungeon in Mothership. I'm really into this science fantasy thing right now, and I am kind of gobbling up whatever I can find in that genre. If anybody's got suggestions, let me know. It is pretty cool looking. Like I said, it is a dungeon. It's got an order of knights in there that you can either align yourself with, become a knight, or maybe fight against. So again, this is another one that I am excited to see. Tidebreak. This is based on a video game called Tidebreak. And again, Mothership. This is an ocean world, basically, where it has recently been discovered, and there is kind of the gold rush to get there and find out what's. It's a, rich taxonomy of creatures with a tag system to guide biological research, multi-layered oceanic environment with deep ecological world building, slow-burning research-centric oceanic mystery for new and existing Mothership crews, new art, story, and creatures in the Other Waters universe. Set after the events of In Other Waters, where a scientist, Ellery Vass, first made contact with the oceanic life of Gleesy 667cc. Tidebreak takes place during the second phase of Gleesy 667cc's discovery, when corporate interests, freelance crews, collectors, smugglers, and all manners of spacefarers descend on the planet to see and exploit the world's new life for themselves. I found I really like the art, and again, I like Mothership, and this brings a whole new dimension to Mothership, which I really like. So I grabbed that as well. Here, Delver number 4, resources for the random rolling referee. It's another thing that I love. I feel like I can never have enough of. A lot of my hard copies of stuff is, I just showed you 6,666 table, is tables. Probably half my PDFs are tables as well. So I'm really into the random table kind of thing. Let's see here. This feels a lot like 20 or more pages of random charts. Each page has a theme or subject, typically 4 to 6 tables. For example, what's in a cube? Allow the game to roll with the contents of gelatinous cube wandering monster. The current article for Delver 4 is titled Terrain versus Theater of the Mind. So this is an article they put in there. Again, I really like this stuff. It really sounds like Dungeon Dozen by Jeff Schultes. His name's not Jeff. Jason Schultes. Which is just a random table a page with 12 different things, and they are random ass things. I really like reading through it for inspiration, right? It's not a book that I'd put at the table because the specific instance that would come up is very, very low. Even though I've got 2 of these Dungeon Dozen books and they have plenty of stuff in them. The Blood Fields at Black Star Station, another Mothership team. This is a hex crawl. This is a hex crawl that is basically a battle planet, right? A battle world. So you get thrown in here. Either you fall out of hyperspace in here. You get hijacked in hyperspace. Apparently, there are pirates going around hijacking crews that are in hyperspace and in cryo sleep, and dragging them over here and waking their ass up and saying, "Hey, you're in a battle for your life. Hope you can get to the center." Interested in this? A pamphlet, optional pamphlet for rules of making Mothership a little less deadly, more action movie. And this is kind of what it's going to look like. I love this 80s kind of CRT art of Mothership too. The whole aliens feel to it, I really love, and the 80s colors and look, I really like. Here we go. Dark Space Pirates, the Swords of Sinclair, troll the vast megavoids and tracks between, scanning for hyperdrives with crew and cryo. using military-grade interdictors to pull ships from hyperspace and shutter their drives. Crews are stolen away, still in the cold dark of cryosleep, or gassed into submission during boarding and taken to Black Star Station. Crews awaken as contestants in the blood fields. Hands on this either. Lucid Sea of Dreams. I really like the unknown, the kind of astral feel of old school D&D, and I believe this really got it for me. This is a system. It's got a setting in it too. Setting and system are designed to be simple and easy to pick up. Freely add on to your favorite system or setting, or play as a standalone game. 8 unique locations, tables for generating counters and compelling dreamscapes, dozen interesting beings, complete starting scenario, tips and trips for running interesting scenarios. So again, these are more things I'm into. Tables, astral sea, kind of dreamy, odd things. Especially simple ways to create that stuff, right? Some of the best stuff that came out of 5e this year was the Ravenloft book, because it had a chapter on designing your own worlds of Ravenloft. And I mean, you can't get much better than that. Even though they are small tables, it still makes it so there's a lot of different combinations to be had. Time After Time. This is a Mothership zine with time travel in it. It looks like 11 months ago, the JMR Corporation locked down a research station, and things have gotten weird. Basically, you're going to Groundhog Day through this whole thing, and you need to get out of this time loop. So, yeah. Running a lot of Mothership next year. May have to start another game. There's another sci-fi horror hex crawl for Mothership. And this I fell across because I saw Evelyn Morrow, her art in here, so I kind of checked it out. Generally, she has the people who pick her really have interesting ideas, so I really dig checking that out. Generators, D100 scrap table, junkyard hex generator, what's happening at Edge, and tech trash table. Completely campaign Arbuckle one shots. It's going to be compatible with 1E, which I guess it will be relevant in the future, because I will pick that up eventually. And there it is, my favorite word in RPG books, toolkit. Give me a toolkit, which a lot of these Mothership books are. A lot of these Mothership books are toolkits. You can take them and tear them apart and use them to create a vast array of things. So that is why I grabbed them. Like, why did I not get physical? Is print on demand. I do not like the idea of print on demand. All right, cool. Fairyland. Again, in that weird kind of odd setting that the Dreamscape one was set in. Plethora of random tables, Fairyland. Tree of Adventure with an illustrated map. And these are handcrafted covers, which there you go. This is where to go? Oh no, where to go? So basically, Yeah, it's printed on, and he pulls it off. I don't know. Very cool. I enjoy it. Um, so, do system-specific content if they reach a goal. I'm not sure if they did. I'm pretty sure they did. This is pretty tops. Oh no, it hasn't yet. Right. Who's that? No. Exploring Dungeon, Smorgasbord, and Tales from the Tower. This is 5e, Morkborg, and old school. Uh, Not interested in collecting stuff for 5e anymore. I've got so much stuff, and the stuff that I do buy is very easily converted to 5e. I don't have a hard time converting to 5e at all. So I'm grabbing the zine, the 3 zine pack with Explore Dungeons. Let's see what's behind the door. Technological wonders, abandoned alchemist lab, sentient landfill, the serpent's eye flavor text tool, in vino veratis, in wine there's truth, but this wine is role of the magic wielder, fantasy location. So again, these are tables and stuff, right? I believe the 5e one was a lot of magic items and classes. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so this is an adventure. Sorceries, people. So spells, I assume, or a new sorcerer's class. Look at the fire giant, Treant War. Quarter, that's a good job. Dead Wizard's Mysterious Spellbook, more spells. Production use of acid. Orcus Day. Not sure. Someone that you know what that is? You can tell me. Same library. This I grabbed. I picked up Curiously Missing and Merrily Met from the free RPG. No, free. Yeah, for Exalted Funerals free RPG day. I got this in there. And I love it. It is. It reminds me of a table out of Red and Pleasant Land. Where have you been? And it basically says what happened to the adventure. Why wasn't the character here when the player wasn't here last session? Very cool stuff. And it's just a pile of random tables, and I'd like to see wondrously weavings warped and weird. So I believe that is spells. Alternate arcane magic system. Which I was hoping to take a look at and maybe graft onto whatever system we end up using if we don't use something with spells already in it, like Karen. That is 10 notable novices and notorious newcomers. Who are you? What's your story? And looted items tool. So this is like when you're bringing a character into a campaign, you can roll on these things. And then pious prayers and powerful prodigies. This is the cleric version of the first. And last up here, last up that hasn't funded. Planar Compass. This is right in my wheelhouse. This is Spelljammer-esque plane hopping. I got issue 1 probably from Free Zine Day, and read it recently, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I like the idea of it. It's made for old school essentials, so it's easy to craft on whatever you want to. There's a good setting to it. It's kind of like a pirate cove in the Astral Sea, and it just fits very well my chosen sphere of um, my chosen genre. And I think there's one more here that already funded. Kind of do. Whole Breach, not Prada's Zine Month actually. That is a collection of Mothership and Pamphlet Islands. This is another thing I've been into lately is islands. They feel very easy to plop in, right? As an adventure. Island can be its own adventure location, or it can serve as, archipelago. So yeah, very happy to see this again. And that's kind of all I've gotten out of Zima. I found another one here. This is Brooklet Games on Patreon, and they're doing a zine a month, and they've already produced one for 2 months. It's called Vortex Isles. Hey, again, islands. I can't resist. But for $12 a month, you can get a physical copy of a zine for every month. So I jumped on here and checked it out. The real seller for me was it's got rules for Karen in it. So that is high on the list of systems that I'm going to run. So I'm taking a look at anything with Karen. Karen, Mothership, and probably some version of PBTA, Powered by the Apocalypse, that is, are kind of my top contenders right now. And then the only one on GoFundMe, Exarch. This is a role-playing game zine about Dark Age peasants adventuring into a science fiction megastructure. Yep, I love my science fantasy. And sounds really cool. It's got backgrounds, rooms, dungeon, cybernetics, all that goodness of science fantasy thrown into fantasy world. Science thrown into a fantasy world. That is it, though. That is what I'm looking forward to for Zine Month. I haven't had anything catch my eye in a couple days. It's been 10 days in. I got 20 more days for my wallet to survive this. See if that happens or not. Yeah. If you guys are seeing anything else out there that kind of fits what I've been talking about, go ahead and send me a message. Anchor or my email or my blog or wherever you want to get me at. Slackernerds.com is the best place to go if you want to find me. That's where my not often updated blog is, but you can find links to all my other crap there. All right. Thanks for showing up, guys, and I will talk to you soon. And that's the end of the recording, and I got shit to do today, so yeah, like I said, I'm glad I recorded today, and